Hey guys, just going to run you through quickly a little bit of my guitar editing process. So I've just recorded some guitars on the weekend for Drenched, and here's just a sample of some guitars that I'm about to edit. It'd go without saying that obviously in the tracking process you're trying to get the best performance possible, which is exactly what we did. And as you can tell, we've had a couple of different takes here where we might have had something here that wasn't so tight, so we've retracked that little bit there. But at the end of the day, there's still going to be little things that could do with tightening up, and this is genre dependent as well. So my general take is to not try to absolutely grid everything 100% and take the human feel out of it, but I do want things a little bit tighter. So I can see here, having a look at this take, that especially these first three hits here are a little bit late, and then we sort of go on time quite well, and then we're sort of swinging around the beat a little bit here. So we're just going to tighten everything up, get it a little bit more consistent, and that will make everything else lock into place quite nicely. So I'm working in Reaper. Obviously whatever DAW you're working in, or as an artist, if you're maybe trying to get your head around this a little bit, if you're going to do a little bit of DIY recording and editing before sending it off to your chosen mix engineer, this will obviously help their process as well, but depending on what recording software you're working in, things will look and act a little bit differently. So first thing I need to do is, what I have are 4 sort of tracks for this one guitar take, and I posted a little video just showing my sort of guitar recording process, which was, I wouldn't say it's convoluted, but it's just a way that I can get a couple of DI options plus the microphones recorded, and it just gives me options for reamping and editing. So basically here I've got that straight DI, I've got a DI influenced by the pedals, and then I've got the 2 microphones that I had on the cabinet down here. What I need to do is I need to make sure these 4 tracks actually act as one track, so I need to group those together. So the first thing I'll do is just highlight them all, and then in Reaper I think I've just got a shortcut set up to G, which just groups everything. So now all of these will act as one track, and I just focus on this pure DI because it gives me the best sort of transient response. If we have a look at the one of the microphones, any microphone will do, this one here, because it's quite a distorted or crunchy tone, you can tell there's not a lot of transient information there. It's quite sort of compressed, which is the nature of distorted guitars. So going with just the straight signal out of the guitar, which is this DI signal here, you can tell it's a lot more transient. There's a lot more peaks that I can work with and link those up to the grid. Next thing is, now I've just got a little fast edit button up here, so this allows me to make a slice. As you can see, it's sliced across all 4 tracks, and then I can just slip these performances or these little notes across. And you'll notice that as I move this, if you have a look down in these other 3 tracks, everything is moving, which is exactly what we want. So now the idea is just to zoom in a little bit, not going too nuts, and then I just want to loosely kind of line these up to the grid. Now what you'll notice is that you might be wondering, oh, why aren't you taking this part and lining that up to the front of the grid? Even though that is the start of the sort of, the pure transient or pick attack of the guitar, it's this sort of main peak here that I want to try to line up or get close to the grid. It doesn't really matter that this part is beforehand, and I found that this just gives a lot more natural sort of result. So what I'll do is I'll go through, do a couple of these in real time, and then I might just sort of in post-production speed up the videos so you're not sitting there watching me going through this laborious task of lining everything up. I call it laborious, but to be quite honest, I find it quite cathartic, this process, so I don't mind it at all. And here I am just cutting and slipping the performance around just to meet that grid a little bit better. So you can see that, save this hit here, or this note, the part of the transient that I'm really focusing on, because we have a positive and a negative side, this side is the positive side and it's probably a little bit late. This one here is the negative side, which came in a little bit sooner. So I'm going to use this one here, and it doesn't matter where I put my edit. For this purpose, I can always move that around as well. But I'm just lining that up here. So I'm looking at these peaks and I'm going, okay, that one's way late, so now I'm going to have to bring that in, and it's only way late because of the prior editing that I've done. So it's a bit of a give and take. Every time you shift something forward, I pretty well know I'm going to have to shift something back as well. All right, so I might just stop talking here, finish this little bit off. I'll speed it up in post-production and come back to you when I'm finished. And there we go, so we're all done. I'm just going to top and tail the performance a little bit, just to make sure that we didn't need that. Let's get rid of that one. Get a little fade in, bring it in a little bit. And so this is what it sounds like after we've edited. I've just got the guitar soloed up with the click track. And what I'll do once I finish all this is I'll do a bit of an A/B comparison in post-production so you can hear what it sounded like beforehand, which to be honest wasn't horrible at all, but this just sounds that little 5-10% better, which if you're adding 5-10% across all of the tracks in your song will just make everything sound a lot tighter, a lot more in time. Let's bring the metronome on. Trap for young players. And as you can tell, that doesn't sound edited at all. Like, it still sounds completely natural. The guitarist has feel in there still. You know, all I've done is just moved a little bits and pieces around and made sure that everything is, you know, very close to or on that grid. Rightio, that's it. I will see you on the next one.